everybody. I'm Miss Maureen, one of the Youth and Parent Services librarians at the Huntington Public Library. And today I'm here to read you some stories that are all about the fairies. And I hope you enjoy the stories I've chosen. And then afterwards we will do a craft creating our very own fairy door. So to begin, I'd like to do a quote that is in this book of A Child's Book of Fairies, which was collected and retold by Tanya Robin Batt, and it was illustrated by Gail Newey. Now the quote I'm going to take from here is from J.M. Barrie, who is the author of Peter Pan, and the quote goes, "When the first baby laughed for the first time, the laugh broke into 1,000 pieces, and they all went skipping about, and that was the beginning of fairies." By J.M. Barrie, author of Peter Pan. And I hope you don't mind, we have Daisy and Puka. They'll be popping in and out of the story time today because they like to listen to me chat as well. An old woman who hated housework, wash the dishes, sweep the floor, make the bed, do the knitting. One day she began to grumble. Work, work, work. How I hate it, hate it, hate it. No sooner were these words out of her mouth than there came a knocking at the door. "Your luck has come. Open the door. Let me in, and you'll work no more." The little old woman opened the door, and in rushed a little fairy. The fairy raced to the sink and began to clatter and bang away at the dishes. Clankety, clankety, clankety. "Well, if she's going to do the dishes, I will sweep the floor," said the old woman. But she grumbled, "Work, work, work. How I hate it, hate it, hate it." And right away she heard, knock, knock, knock. "Your luck has come. Open the door. Let me in, and you'll work no more." Another fairy ran in, snatched up the broom, and began to sweep dust all over the house. Swishity, 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 swishity. "Well, then I will make the bed," said the old woman. But soon she was grumbling again. "Work, work, work. How I hate it, hate it, hate it." Knock, knock, knock. "Your luck has come. Open the door. Let me in, and you'll work no more." A third fairy rushed in and began to shake the bedclothes. Flumpity, flumpity, flumpity. "Then I will work on my knitting," said the old woman. Clickety, clickety, clickety. "Work, work, work. How I hate it, hate it, hate it." But then, knock, knock, knock. "Your luck has come. Open the door and let me in, and you'll work no more." In rushed another fairy and snatched up the knitting. Clankety, clankety, swishity, 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 flumpity, 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 clickety, clickety, clickety. The old woman was surrounded by rackety fairies. "These fairies are driving me crazy," she yelled. "Fairies, stop!" Oops, sorry. And suddenly they stopped. The house was quiet. The bed was made. The floor was swept. The dishes were done. The knitting was finished. "Thank you, fairies." But before the old woman could finish thanking them, the fairies began to tear everything apart again. They ripped up the bed covers, dirtied the floor, tore up the knitting, and smeared up the dishes. Then they began all over again. Clankety, clankety, swishety, swishety, flumpety, 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 clickety, clickety, clickety. They will never leave, shouted the old woman. Too many fairies. She rushed to the village wise woman. My house, it's overrun with fairies. They won't stop working. Oh my, said the wise woman. They've come to help. You haven't been complaining, have you? Well, maybe at first. Oh no, you'll never be rid of them. Here's what you must try. Stand outside your door and shout, fairies, come quick! Fairies, come quick! The fairies will run out to see what is happening. You must jump back inside the house and lock the door. Then quickly turn everything all topsy-turvy. Broom, dishes, bed covers, knitting. Do not open the door and never complain again. The old woman did just as she was told. Fairies, come quick! Fairies, come quick! What? The fairies rushed out to see what was happening. The little old woman ran inside and bolted the door. She stood the broom upside down in the corner. She put the dishes upside down in the sink. She tied the bed covers in knots. She pulled apart the knitting and shoved the needles into her yarn. The fairies were banging on the door. Your luck has come. Open the door. Let us in and you'll work no more. The old woman kept very quiet. The old woman did not move. The fairies stirred around and fussed. Broom, come, open the door. But the broom called back, I'm upside down, I cannot move. Dishes, come let us in. We're upside down the sink, we cannot come. Knitting needles, come open the door. We're stuck in the yarn, we cannot get out. Bed covers, get up and come open this door. We're all tangled up, we cannot move. The fairies began to grumble and growl. Well, then your luck is gone. We'll work no more. And they stomped away to their fairy hill. At last, all was quiet. The old woman washed her dishes. She swept her floor. She made her bed. Then she sat down and began to do her knitting. But soon, work, 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 she stopped just in time. How I love it, love it, love it, love it. Thank you for listening to that story, Too Many Fairies, with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I'm Miss Maureen, one of the librarians from Huntington Public Library's Youth Services Department. And now we're going to be doing a craft, making your own fairy door. I hope you join me. Okay, here we go. I'm Miss Maureen. We're back again. And I just wanted to show you the beginnings of creating your very own fairy door. I have already painted my popsicle sticks. I started out with 12 popsicle sticks, although I do have a few extra in case I want to change up what I'm doing. Now, so you just need regular old popsicle sticks, and we'll see if you can paint them, you can not paint them. You can I use watercolor paints to paint my popsicle sticks. You can use Sharpies, you can use acrylic paint. Color pencils may work, crayons definitely work. So whatever you have on hand at home is great. You will also need some glue. There's wood glue, school glue should be fine, tacky glue. I am looking to have a glue gun, but if your kids, if you double check with your grown-up to make sure that that's okay for you to use a glue gun, or they may be able to help you with that glue gun. I also happen to have these metal circles are washers, so I actually have one plain stick, which is going to be what I'm going to do the door so it can open and close, and I do have some sparkly little bits that I'll add to decorate my door. I did add some glitter on one side of my stick, to have one side be a little, have a little something extra. So let me finish gluing my door. I'm going to be adding my pieces to these 3 bits. I'm going to start out where it's all even on the 3 cross sticks, but each one I'm going to move up a little bit more and a little bit more until the middle one is going to be sticking the tallest, and then I'm going to be working my way back down. So you will see what that looks like. I'm going to glue that all together, and once it's glued and dried, I will continue on the video. I finished my fairy door, and it's a 2-sided fairy door. See how it can, I have 2 different sides. I've decorated both sides, and I have this little jam here so my door can open and close. And like I said, it's 2 sides. I hope you like it. And again, it's not perfect, but it's perfectly me, and it's perfectly fine. So, and we can stick this anywhere. You could stick it at the bottom of a tree, or I might stick it in my plant, and I will show you that. Where my green onions are growing over here, might do that. So, because who doesn't think a fairy door should be in a planter? Just like that. I think that is a perfect spot for my fairy door, don't you? Alright, well again, so I hope you enjoyed your fairy story and your fairy door craft. And again, this is Miss Maureen. I'm one of the Youth and Parent Services librarians at the Huntington Public Library, and I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.